The number one United Nations Sustainable Development Goal is to end extreme poverty everywhere. A little less known fact is that needless blindness is both a cause and consequence of extreme poverty. According to a study published by The Lancet, investment in the cure of cataract blindness can allow people to increase their economic productivity by up to 1500% of the cost of surgery during the first post-operative year itself. The study further suggests that future work should focus on promoting the accessibility and quality of cataract surgery in developing countries. The Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation is committed to both and is working towards helping end extreme poverty by making quality cataract surgery accessible to as many people living with cataract blindness in the developing world. Krishna Majhi is a 38-year-old man who lives along the banks of Sunkoshi River in Nepal's Sindupalchok district. The Majhi community, to which Krishna belongs, is one of Nepal's 59 indigenous communities and is listed as one of Nepal's extremely marginalized communities. When Krishna became blind with cataracts 2 years ago, he immediately became unemployed. Being the sole breadwinner of the family, his family was pushed into extreme poverty. Prior to his blindness, Krishna would work as a laborer at various construction sites in the city and bring home a steady income.
यो आहाले गर्दामा म अब त्यति काम गर्न सक्दिनँ मेरो जिउ पनि यो सुगरले गर्दा म कमजोर भयो हैन त्यति जिउमा ताकत पनि छैन र अनि आहा पनि कमजोर हुँदै गयो आहामा अब कति औषधि हाल्यो औषधि पनि दिएर पठाएको हस्पिटल औषधि हालेर मात्रै भएन यो चाहिँ अब आहा कमजोर भयो आहा कमजोर भएपछि म पहिला चाहिँ जस्तै भनौं यसो घरको गाह्रो सारोहरु लाउने हैन अनि ज्यामी काम नि गर्थे घरको गाह्रो सारो लाउने मिस्त्री काम पनि गर्थे सबै काम गर्दै गएको थियो अनि यसो खसी बाह्र अलि बेचेको त्यसैले अलि औषधि खाँदै बस्दै अब अहिले दिनभरि बाहिर भित्र गर्ने अब अनि अब सुत्ने निन्द्रा लाग्यो भने त्यही त अब काम गर्न सकिदैन बाहिर हिँडडुल गर्न अब आँखा देखिदैन लभी टेकेर यसो टाकटुक्क हिँड्यो त्यही हो आँखाको समस्या मेरो आँखामा अलि दृष्टि पावरहरू अब त्यति आ छैन अलिक हल्का हल्का देखिन्छ हल्का हल्का देखेको भरमा हिँडिरहेको छु त्यति हो अरु आँखाको लागि चाहिँ अब आँखा जस्तो ठुलो कुरो केही हैन अब त्यही अलिअलि हल्का हल्का देखिन्छ त्यति हो पुरा देखिदैन यो छामेको भरमा खानुपर्छ.
Combining his income and a little bit of government grant he had received after the 2015 Nepal earthquake damaged his home, he had even begun the task of reconstructing his home. However, with his blindness and the subsequent impact to the income, the house could never be completed. For 2 years, Krishna lived with his blindness, his wife taking care of him alongside her farming and poultry rearing duties for their subsistence. He and his wife had lost all hope that Krishna's blindness could be cured, and Krishna continued to live a life of needless blindness. That was until March 2022, when a screening team dispatched by the Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation identified his cataracts and invited him for surgery at Doramba. Although still doubtful that Krishna's eyesight could be restored, husband and wife agreed to arrive at the camp for his scheduled surgery. Krishna's surgery was conducted on 19th March by co-founder of the Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation, Dr. Sanduk Ruit, Nepal's god of sight, in the presence of co-founder Mr Tej Kohli, a British investor and philanthropist who believes that investment in sight restoration program has the power to transform communities. Together with the partnership between Dr. Sanduk Ruit and Mr Tej Kohli, they were able to cure 13,659 patients of cataract blindness in the past year, of which 333 patients were present at the Doramba camp itself. Mr Kohli, who had been enthusiastically following his foundation's impact over the course of the year, made it a point to visit the Doramba camp to witness the transformation for himself. The next day, on the 20th, Krishna, along with 332 others, awaited the doctor to remove their patches. Rita, who had been by her husband's side the entirety of his blindness, was visibly nervous. After his patches were removed jointly by co-founders Dr. Ruit and Mr. Kohli, Krishna slowly opened his eyes to sight. He was stunned. He could not believe he was able to see again. He took several moments to register his sight and finally broke a smile. For the first time in the longest time, as per Rita.
Rita Majhi.
He looked at the doctor and Mr. Kohli and thanked them profusely before finally looking at his wife. She seems to have lost a lot of weight, Majhi remarked with sadness. She used to be healthier before I became blind. The stress of taking care of me must have taken a toll on her, he added. For 2 years, she has taken care of you. Now it is your time to take care of her, Mr. Kohli was quick to remark. Later, in the evening, Majhi had transformed into a completely different person. He could be seen smiling more often, seemed a little taller, and a lot more confident. A quiet and shy person when he was blind, Krishna had transformed into a chatty person.
अपरेसन एकदम राम्रो छ र राम्रो क्लियर आँखा देखेको छ ज्योतिहरू पनि देखिएछ पुरै पहिला आउँदा यो बाटो देखिदिन्थ्यो घरहरू केही देखिदिन्थ्यो एकदम क्लियर राम्रो र आज सुन्दर दिन सुन्दर बिहान दिनुभयो सुन्दर समयहरू दिनुभयो अवसर र मौका पाएकोमा धेरै धेरै खुसी छु अब घरमा गएर जस्तै भनौं अब बाख्रा कुखुराहरूलाई स्याहार सुसार गर्ने त्यसलाई बेचबिपार गर्ने अब हरेक अब व्यवहार गर्न परिहाल्यो अब अनि पहिला जस्तै अब बल्ला ढुङ्गा काम गर्ने यसो मिस्त्री कामहरू गर्ने घरहरू पुरा गर्न पर्यो फिनिश गर्न पर्यो फिनिश भएको छैन अब त्यो नि गर्न पर्यो आफैले गरेको पहिला त्यो घर आफैले बनायो अनि घर बनाई अनि यस्तो घर बनाइसकेपछि 2 वर्षपछि आएर यस्तो भएको.
Meanwhile, for the Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation, the journey is far from over. Immediately after curing 333 patients of needless blindness in Doramba in the presence of co-founders Dr. Sanduk Ruit and Mr. Tej Kohli, the Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation cured an additional 305 people of blindness in Nepal's Nijgarh area. In its first year, the Tej Kohli and Ruit Foundation successfully screened 128,094 patients and cured 13,659 of blindness across Nepal. The foundation is continuing its efforts to screen 1 million and cure 300,000 to 500,000 of needless blindness by 2030. Therefore, allowing patients like Majhi and their dependents the freedom to pursue their economic activities and thereby living a life free from extreme poverty.